It's just coming up to 9 o'clock on Saturday 13th of July. I'm walking to the bus stop to get the bus to the train station because I'm going to Yarningham. So I'm not far now from Yarningham. I've just got off the bus. It's about 20 to 12. It's taken me a long time to get here, seeing as I left the house at 9 o'clock. But the sun is out, so we'll be there very soon, hopefully. We're here. This is the old family home of the Cadbury family of chocolate fame. I'm going to try not to spend too much money. I'm in the market for some double pointed needles, some short needles for toy knitting, and that lovely souvenir skein. Let's see how I do. So I'm inside. I think I'm just going to do a little sweep and take you with me, and then have a little chat about what we might purchase. I've had a little mooch round everywhere now. There's just one stall I'm going to go back to buy a little mini skein set. I'll just flip you over and show you what's in the grounds here. There's a marquee. There's a little bandstand thing that's been yarn bombed a little bit. People outside having cake. I think this is where you can buy cake in here. Look at this gorgeous buddleia. And the outside of this conservatory, the inside of the building is absolutely fabulous. It is very much later the next day now. In fact, there's probably only about an hour of the show left. I must apologise for the light. I've tried to sort my blinds out. I don't want to block out what little bit of sunshine there is. The weather is crazy. This is the third lot of clothing I've had on today. I've got my Hurkle Durkle cardigan. I'm drinking a non-alcoholic little cocktail that the place that I go to my knitting night sells. It's called an espresso tonic, and it is just literally espresso and tonic. So I thought I'd have a go at making myself one at home. I haven't quite got the right kind of tonic. My coffee base is good, I know that, but I've just got Aldi cheapo tonic, and I think I need a good Fever Tree one. An orange one might be quite nice. I think Fever Tree do a clementine one. I'm rattling on, sorry. But there's something between the coffee and the tonic that gives a kind of almost chocolatey taste, and it's really refreshing. Anyway, I think that is the first yarn festival I've been to. Oh gosh, in a long time. I can't remember the last time I went to one. I haven't been to one post-pandemic, definitely. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm sorry that the footage of the actual show itself is quite long. I had a real dilemma about whether to speed that footage up, cut some out, but then I didn't want to miss any of the vendors that I enjoyed chatting to out. And I also didn't want to speed it up because I wanted to keep in the background chatter that you heard, because it was such a lovely background noise. People were chatting, laughing, having fun. It was really lovely. So you were given a show guide, which very helpfully has all of the vendors in it and where they are. Lots of vendors actually. I won't show you inside too much, but there is a Yarningham pattern. Now, as far as I know, Yarningham have only been going about 5 years. I don't know, don't quote me on that. They're a relatively new yarn festival, but they are, I think, the UK's only yarn festival that is hosted by women of colour. And I have to say that a lot of yarn festivals I've been to in the past have been attended by predominantly white women, and the vendors have been predominantly white women. At this show, it was a real breath of fresh air to see the diversity, both in the people attending, in terms of age, as well as gender and ethnicity. And again, with the vendors, a lot of male vendors, lots of people from different ethnicities. So well done to the people who hosted Yarningham. I will definitely consider going again. Now, I didn't make it very far before I bought my first purchase, and I broke my rule. I said in the introduction that I was going to go all the way round once and consider what I was going to purchase, but I saw a vendor, Wonderful Wool, who was the second vendor in after Joe Knit Sew, who had a really nice bright colourful stall, and I was taken by this skein of yarn. Can you see all the gorgeous colours in that? And hand dyed yarn and fibre. So this is a 50 gram high twist sock, 4-ply, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And I'm going to knit myself a pair of socks. And I thought that these might kind of micro stripe. And I had a rummage. There were 2 of these. That was all. There were 2. And I thought, by the time I come round, those are going to be gone. So I broke my rule, and that was it. I was away. But I thought £8, so £16 for 100 grams. It's about average, isn't it? And I asked the lady, she was really nice. I really liked what she was knitting on. I didn't really get any footage of her. I felt a bit uncomfortable. I said, will it stripe? And she said, probably not, it'll pull. But if I am doing socks, I should get a micro stripe. So I'm looking forward to that very much. And I'll show you the progress I made on my socks. So that was the first purchase. Second purchase. Oh, I was so thrilled. I went to Attic Spin Dye. And I didn't buy straight away. I did go back and purchase this because I could see that there were plenty of them. But I did go back and buy. I was taken by, sorry for the scrunching, this Alice in Wonderland mini set. So there were 5 20-gram minis. So I've got 425 metres approximately. I just loved all the colours in that. And I've got a little Alice stitch marker, can you see? Anyway, I had a lovely chat with Ange, and she says, I don't dye the yarn, my husband dyes the yarn. And I asked all of the vendors permission, could I film? And she said yes. They all said yes. And she said, yes, what's the name of your podcast? And I said, One Stitch After Another. And she said, I watch you. I have never had that happen to me before. I said, what, you watched Little Old Me? And she said, yes. She said, you've not been very well recently, have you? So I had a lovely chat with her, and I said, I will be back later to buy that. And I think she was very pleased that I did keep to my word. I've got a plan. Well, I haven't got a solid plan, but I've bought something else that I'm going to mix with this that I think you might approve of. Given that there was so much bright, vivid colour in terms of the yarn available, what I've bought is quite pastel and quite muted actually. Yeah, so I was thrilled to meet Ange and talk to Ange. And Ange, if you're watching, leave a comment so I know that you've been. And it was lovely to chat to you, and you made my day. You absolutely made my day. Before I show you what else I've bought, I got so many comments about my cardigan, my Hurkle Durkle cardigan, and people saying they liked all the different buttons on it, they liked the little hidden pocket. I'm not at a very good angle to show you, so I got a lot of pleasure out of wearing this, and I was glad that I had it as a layering piece, because when the sun was out it was really warm, but when it went in it was a little bit chilly, so I was pleased for that. So what did I buy next? Oh, one of the I don't know whether I'm saying this correctly, Tyddyn Bryn, she's Welsh anyway. You saw her in that little bit of footage of the show. She dyes yarn from her own little flock of sheep, and I had a lovely chat with her, and she was saying that she's now asking all the other people who have got sheep in her village to let her have their fleeces as well. So she's dyeing from local fleece, which is really, really brilliant. I didn't buy anything from Third Volt Yarn, but I did actually. I did on my way back. She was in the process of changing all of her labels over. I did buy, these were £1 each, 2 little skeins of hand-dyed embroidery floss. I was trying to buy mindfully and not just buy because I liked it, because I have so much yarn, I'm never going to knit through it all. And one of the things that they had there, and I wish I'd done it, was you could take unwanted yarn. There was a table and you could swap like for like. So if you'd got cotton, you could swap cotton. Yeah, so I was trying to buy and think, oh, what can I do with that? Or buy enough. But anyway, I'm trying to do a little bit of slow stitching, and I liked kind of like the muted colours on this. So it'll give me some really nice colour changes as I'm just doing some stitching. So I thought for £1 they were okay. If I had got more money than sense, or, you know, storage was no object, I would have bought some of her bamboo, because that was incredibly soft and very, very pretty. But the then that you saw in the tour, Cool Woolings, I'm just so excited still, sorry I'm rambling a bit. Cool Woolings, absolutely brilliant, vibrant colours. and there were lots of examples of shawls knitted up, a lot of them Stephen West shawls. I think the one that I focused on that might be in the thumbnail was Stephen West's, I think it's called Cabin Fever. It takes 500 gram skeins, and at 20 quid each, no, I wasn't going to be buying 500 gram skeins, but I was sorely tempted. Yeah, and she was really lovely to chat to. Then probably one of my favourite stalls was the Folkestone Harbour yarn. I absolutely loved her stall. I loved how she'd got little hanks of yarn displayed in like pretend ice cream cones, and you saw the candy floss kind of roving like on sticks, like a candy floss stick. But excuse me, I absolutely adored the muted colours of her yarn, and I've got her business card here. You see, beautiful, 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 beautiful. And the lady, I'm sorry, I didn't know her name. I don't know if it's on here. She uses plant dyes, but they're fixed with acid, I think. I don't know. She said they're mordanted so that they don't run. But she was standing knitting a pair of socks in 2 colours. It looked a very complicated pattern. But she got kind of like, it was like a little bag on her arm, but it was like a cage that separated the yarn so it didn't get twisted. And she was standing knitting away. It was a really good idea. But I bought from her a couple of things. I said that I was going to look for some short-ish knitting needles for toy knitting. So these were £3 a pair. So these are 2.5mm with a lovely bead at the end. I don't know how long they are. Not terribly long, but they'd be perfect for toy knitting. And then look at these with the little duckies on the end. And they were £3 as well. And these are 3mm needles. She hadn't got any 275, or I couldn't see any 275. Not with beads on the end that I liked. So I did say I was going to buy some short knitting needles. I'd have liked them shorter. And that was one thing that there wasn't a lot of, actually. There wasn't a lot of good quality small knitting needles. I've got some, I think they're Brittany, and they're in a dark rosewood, and they're only about that long, about 6 inches long, if that, and they are gorgeous. And the other thing I was on the lookout for was some sock blockers. I don't really like my wire sock blockers. I was looking, I would have bought a really nice sock blocker if I'd seen one, but I didn't. Lots and lots of crochet hooks, but I'm not in the market for crochet hooks. But she'd got all of these mini skeins. They were £2.30 each, or 5 for £10. And I put together this little colour fade, and she said, "Oh, I really like that. Can I take a photo of it just for my own inspiration?" she said. So that was my colour fade that I chose. And these are 10 gram minis. So what will they be? About, I don't know how many metres they'll be. But I've probably got about 200 metres there-ish, haven't I? So this brings me on to, I think this might be my final yarn purchase. Yes, it is. These were from Wool Tops, and this is merino and 25% silk. So it's 75% merino, 25% silk. £8 for 100 grams. It's obviously fingering weight. The guy said that people buy this as a base to dye their own yarn, but I thought I could do a shawl or something striped with these, and again this with this. So that's my plan, is to find a nice pattern that I can use. But that £8, I said, are you mad? But it was a show special. So those are all of the yarn purchases. I don't think actually I went too mad, do you? And then I bought a couple of books. I wish I'd bought, actually, from Sue. I had a lovely chat with Sue Stratford. She signed my books for me. So I've got Merry Knitmas. And she's just put happy knitting. And yeah, so this is like for the Advent wreath. I probably won't knit it as a wreath. I'll probably knit the little things as separate things. So I love the little mushroom. Look at the little gnome. And there's a rabbit in here that you know, depending on your colours, you could do for Easter. Little snowflake. Yeah, so that. And then this. I've seen this online. I'm subscribed to Sue's newsletter. She signed this book as well, and everything was so beautifully displayed, absolutely beautifully displayed. And this is Country Creatures Unravelled, and she's signed this one as well. I love the little rabbit, the little ducks, so that will keep me very busy. While I was on the train, I cast on, you saw, I cast on my knitting. So I'm using the sock set that I won from Lay Family Yarn for the Hurkle Durkle make along. And I've made okay progress. So I've done 1.5 inches of ribs, split it between the blue. I'm worried about not having enough blue. And then I'm just on this bit here. I'm doing a very short sock, so the cuff, toe and heel will be in the blue. I'm just praying I've got enough, but the colours in this are gorgeous. But that's what I did when I was out and about yesterday. So after I got back into the city centre, the sun was out and I wasn't quite ready to go home. So I sat in a bistro outside by Selfridges, with a glass of wine in the sun and a little snack, and sat knitting. And I had so many people come up to me, it was amazing. The waitress that brought my glass of wine said, "Oh, I like your yarn," and she was only young, and I thought, so she knows about it, because, you know, somebody who's uninitiated would have said, "I like your wool." And then the girl that came and brought me my bill said, "Oh, what are you knitting?" And I said, "A pair of socks." And she said, "I crochet." And again, she was only young, so I had a nice little chat with her. But there were some people, so where this bar was, it's called Brown's, it was opposite, I think it's St Martin's in the Bullring, and then you can see Selfridges behind. And there was some people sketching the church. I know this guy came over and said, "I've been sitting watching you knit, can I buy you a glass of wine?" And I said, "No, it's fine, thanks, I need to get my train home." But I told my husband, he said, "I would have had the wine if I were you." So yeah, that's about it, I think. Oh yeah, while I was on the train, that's what I was going to say. While I was on the train, hubby sent me a picture on Instagram, on WhatsApp. It's from Instagram, and it said, it was something like me not buying yarn and winning the lottery about the same odds, something like that. It really made me chuckle out loud. Anyway, I'm going to get this uploaded now. What rubbish it is. I'm just looking at this. I love it. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, I love it. Love it. Anyway, I'm going. I'll be back soon, I think. I hope. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Did you go to Yarningham? Were you a vendor there? Did you see yourself? Take care. Bye now.